Whatever happened to action? People just stopped using it. They started saying rolling or something, but I think we're just going to bring back the 90s action. Boom. What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. For you, it's possibly, if you're a hardcore fan, you're listening to this on a Monday. But for us here, it's Friday. It's November 1st. So it's a day I've been avoiding for a while. But here we are. Yeah, thank you for being here. So today is always kind of a weird day for obvious reasons. So yeah, 12 years ago, Mitch got into an accident and he died. So that was 12 years ago. It was November 2012. And today's is always, it just doesn't seem like 12 years. Just like the concept of time, it just makes no sense. 12 years. It's crazy. But yeah, I kind of touched on it a little bit on the previous episodes, but yeah, this is what I've been talking about. So yeah, today I was jamming the first record. It's like, fuck, his voice is just special guy. But yeah, anyway, I was talking to a friend, and I've always known this, but you know when like you say it, and when you say it out loud, it really, that's true. That's true. And but yeah, this episode goes out to our singer, our best friend and brother Mitch. But yeah, the band has been like, it's been going. It's just been going. It's been going. And I'm having a little bit harder time starting this thing, getting the engine going as I thought. But I'm opening up the door. But yeah, we just been going. And then once I said it, I was like, oh, it's true. I mean, I haven't processed Mitch's death yet. Yeah, it's been going like once, and some of the dates seem pretty blurred. But even when he passed away, it was like that time period from today, 12 years ago, to getting Eddie, and then before we know it, we're already writing, we're already recording the record, and we're already out on a full-fledged world tour, multiple back-to-back world tours. Yeah, not having time isn't the right thing to say. It's just my emotional, mental capacity was maxed out, or maybe I was just constantly running away from it. And yeah, so if you've been listening to the past few solo EPs, I've been kind of hinting at this moment, and so yeah, it's happening right now. I've been kind of, I would be, one of my goals is to get the story of the band out, and I found it very difficult. I'll be a guest on someone else's platform, or someone that I admired or respected their worth ethic, or at least to try and help their channel, because I know how that goes. But I would try to bring up like the Mitch thing, and it just never really came out like. It just never really came out the way I wanted it to, and it's unfair to expect someone else to handle. For me to expect someone else to handle that heavy of a subject. So that's unfair. So here we are. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna start talking, and then I know preconceived idea how this is gonna end, or the time length or anything. But yeah, I just figured out. Just getting the full story out there has been very difficult. But yeah, we're just gonna go. Again, thank you for just fucking listening. But yeah, I was thinking like I remember it was freshman year in high school. That was like the first time I not even me, just like people in the scene were like, there was like rumblings of Mitch. It was like his band, I think we're called Dying Dreams. Exactly how you would think it would sound. It's kind of metalcore stuff, and we had someone in our high school bought a. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to tell a story. It's going to start. It's going to end. That's just what's probably going to happen. So I'm going to go ultra lore, because I try to do it other times. It's just impossible. But yeah, there was this bass player guy. He bought this 8-track, and he was learning how to record bands, and he ended up doing it. So he brought this demo to school, and I just remember the first thing that stuck out was this dude's highs. It's like it's just nothing like I ever heard. You couldn't even compare it, even as like a kid. Like, so the first thing that stuck out. You gotta hear this band. You gotta hear the singer. There's already rumblings in the Corona Riverside area, like he's like the best. Like there's really no one of that caliber and sound. But yeah, I was seeing him at shows a lot. I was just I went to Corona High, so showcases in Corona. It's a really cool venue. I always talk about it on here. But yeah, I was seeing him moshing. He was like this really tall, lanky white kid, and I think he had tattoos already. Yeah, he has his. At the time, people were like, they were. It became a thing. Everyone started to stretch their fucking ears. That still hasn't died, huh? People are still stretching their ears and putting their like the big old plugs. Oh shit, Jay! Yeah, he found footage of Dying Dreams playing Showcase. That's crazy. So that's with his brother Cliff, the bass player Mike. He would go on to play for us for a little bit, and Josh. He would also be in Suicide for a small amount of time. Yeah, just a tall, skinny, lanky dude. You'll see Big Josh there headbanging. Man, that pit was violent. But yeah, I was just see him around. He would throw kicks at me in the pit. It was sick, and yeah, they built a reputation pretty quickly. based on Mitch. And oh yeah, and real quick, also the drummer of this band, he was the guy I first met. The first technically like the first drummer ever. I met the singer, the first singer of Sevendust. I met him on AOL Instant Messenger through a friend. Because so the two people that picked me up was the drummer of this band and Tanner, and which B-Town will go on to drum for. There he is. He would go on to drum for Final Burden, and then went on to play for Impending Doom for some time. So there's the hardcore lore right there. But yeah, then it started, I think Suicide was just about it just started. It literally just, we're jamming in Tanner's garage in Riverside. And then we took that practice and we brought it to Corona, where we still practice. And then it was Tanner's idea to bring in a second singer, or he should do a song with us. I'm like, okay. And then the first time I met Mitch was actually in my garage. He's walked in, and then we had a show at Showcase, this very venue, with a black metal band that I'm pretty sure they're a black metal band called Excommunion. Check out that band. They have this record that we would eventually borrow a couple riffs from. But yeah, we basically played in front of a few black metal people that hated us, and whatever girlfriends the other guys in Suicide had. And show's over, we tear down our shit, and then we take our shit, we put it down the hallway. Now we're outside a legendary place I still drive by. We're all hanging out behind the venue in the parking lot. It's nice. And I remember he asked me, like, hey, Mitch is like, he should sing with us. And I said no. I had no interest, because it was like a kind of like a popular thing to do at that, and like the local scene, like people were like, there's like the two singer thing going on. I was getting kind of popular, and I didn't, at that point we were doing, okay, what's everyone else doing? Okay, we're gonna do the opposite. Always been that way. Like literally since like you're talking pre-Mitch days. Always been. What are they doing? We're doing the opposite. We still do it today, for better or for worse. A lot of the worst things are very public, but that's cool. But yeah, I'm not. To be real, I really don't know what happened there. I don't know how Mitch kind of just. I don't know at all how he got in there. Even me opening my mind right now and trying to chain link memories, I don't know. I don't know who brought it up. I don't know, or if he just started to show up all the time in Corona in our practice space. But he's in the band. I don't know how it happened. I don't remember. But it definitely feels very, very quick. I remember it being very quick. I think we had a few shows, but we had an issue with the drummer that was on the first demo. He was like amazing. So to this day, one of the best drummers I ever played with. He's Justin Defino. So he's an amazing guy. But yeah, it'll be like show day. I remember we were playing like a backyard, and show day is like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna show up. So yeah, we had to get a new drummer and stuff. We remember there's one show we played in Whittier at a place called Skateland, and that was the last time. Probably one and only show we played with two singers, and it was just kind of apparent. There's no like There's no plan. There's no discussion. Mitch just had to be the fucking guy. I still don't know how he got in the fucking band. How did he do that? Just life had its way. It had its way. But yeah, once he was really once he was the only guy. That's the only thing I really do remember. Is once he was the guy, it was only him in that garage where we were rocking out. It was undeniable. My riffs, my emotion with his lyrics and his voice, his stage presence in a garage. We would go. I think we brought it up before, but yeah, we would rock out in the garage. Just get ready for a show. There were crazier shows in the garage than most bands do live, especially in the deathcore genre. Just gonna throw it out there real quick. But yeah, we would just. I wish, obviously, hindsight. I wish if I had the communication skills I have now to fucking talk back then. But it's just an unspoken push each other. Who's gonna rock out more? Who's gonna rock out harder? If you look at anything that me and Mitch did when we started touring, it's he's going insane and I'm going insane. It's this. It was this unspoken, which I still carry with today. Who's gonna go harder? So we started fucking rocking, playing shows. He was a very unique guy in many ways, and other ways he wasn't very unique. He was a fucking pain in the ass. He was a frontman, and frontman tended to be a pain in the ass. But we would go to friends' houses and chill. And also he's straight edge and I'm straight edge. I don't even know what we did. We would just go to houses and just hang out. I don't even know what we talked about. But just a really he was just always kind of bringing me along to safe places because I was also around this time I was a drummer we had, Josh. He got me a job as a dishwasher at on shows, and that really kind of kept me out of trouble at a very crucial time. 17, so I'm washing dishes Friday night, Saturday night, and if there's not a show, I'm working. If it's a show, I'll call it off and I'll work, but or I'll go to a show. But when I'm working, dude, and there's no show, Mitch and his friends, they were just known to just get into trouble. Whether it's fights, throwing golf balls at cars or something. I was never a part of that. 'Cause to be honest, I was scared. I was scared to go hang out with him too much because he just didn't fucking care. And I'll just tell a quick story because he proved that to me. So the story I'm about to tell is actually around this time. If you're watching this, us playing a place called Cherry Action. I wish I kept that Ibanez guitar. Fuck, I'm an idiot. I wish I kept that thing. But my dumbass put it up on eBay. I'm playing with sandals too, like a. I don't know why. I don't know. Good thing I stopped. But yeah, we're just fucking playing gigs, straight edge. He's getting all in trouble. I'm staying out of trouble. Whenever he could, he would take me places. He would take his mute guitar player out. And when I did talk, he had a crazy stutter. And he never he's never said anything about it. It's cool. And I don't remember the year, but it was around this time. so as the video's playing, it is around this time, but we would either go after seeing a show at Showcase, seeing a show, not playing, but we're either going to Denny's or we're going to In-N-Out. And there's a moment, I haven't thought about this in years until today. Woke up just kind of clearing my head, put on the record in the gym, just hearing his voice, and I was like, fuck. This is something else. I don't know. Maybe I'll find the words when this episode goes on. But anyway, yeah, we're in and out. And Mitch probably got into some trouble, as he always does. No surprise. But yeah, he got followed. And I remember this white truck. This white truck pulls into. Also, I'm sorry. Very important part of the story. You know when someone's like about to fight, and there's a lot of people around. It was like that. I'm like, what? I don't even know what was going on in my mind. I guess there's a lot of people in a parking lot right now. There's a lot of people. And I know most of them, so that's cool. Shortest got out. I mean, it makes sense. But yeah, but a white bro truck pulls up. Exactly what you expect. Lifted, big. Make up for a small dick, probably. And these guys come out, and yeah, a fight breaks out. You know, I never been in a fight, so I was fucking scared. I'm not fighting anybody. I remember this guy approached me, and I still kind of like, I thought about his face today. I'm like, wow, I still kind of remember what he looked like. I still kind of remember his haircut. Because everyone kind of had like this shitty, like, spiky haircut with short on his sides, like kind of gel. I still remember. I'm like, wow, this guy just approached me, not knowing who I was. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I remember he squared up. I was like, no. And what happened right after this is why Mitch is a legend. There's the bro guys, but also there's this one guy, and it was a thing in Corona where people kind of some people kind of were pretending to be gangsters and dressed kind of that way, and this guy was also that cliche. He was a certain kind of race, I'll say. He had unfortunately a cliche Mexican kid, shaved head, exactly what you expect, bandana over his face, massive white shirt, too big for his body. But what this kid was doing is he was pretending that he had a gun. So basically, he had his white shirt on. It was like he had his hand like either you're gonna grab your own dick or you have some, or you have a gun. Or maybe he's trying to say, hey, check out my pussy, dude. I don't know, something. Like he was either that or he has a gun. But obviously, given what was going on in that moment, he was pretending he had a gun. So I step away. Some of my other friends stayed in the cars, and Mitch says to this kid, you don't have enough bullets for all of us. And stood up to that kid. Did not back down. He went forward. No fear. No fear and conviction. Yeah, just like you're saying. And then to top it off, he turns around, and there's a lot of people behind him, me included. It's like, you're all a bunch of bitches. Oh my goodness, dude. Oh my goodness. How do you? He was right. He was right. And maybe so that kind of set the tone for the rest of his life and the band, how he lived. And maybe that kind of gave me like a subconscious respect for him. That's some kind of like subconscious thing, you know. But he still pissed me off. There's a lot of things he did I'm fucking not happy about. But yeah, I guess it's one of those things that you had to be there. Or maybe some of you have a friend that did that in front of you. Like, what the fuck? This isn't fake, man. This is not fake shit. This guy's ready to die. And he doesn't care. And he's not drunk either. He's not on drugs. He's sober. This is what makes it even more. It's why I had to add a very important fact. Usually people do this when they hammer. Maybe that fake confidence, the fake bravado. No, he's a straight edge kid with straight edge tattoos. But yeah, that was pretty cool. And then we're jamming as much as we can. He worked at Target. He didn't have a car for a period of time, so he would ask his Big Josh, our previous drummer, still one of my best friends today. They lived together, and he was working at Target. Then he spent all of this. There's the thing about singers; they just don't. I'm generalizing as I do, but they just don't. Why don't they buy anything? Why don't they buy a fucking mic, dude? Buy a cable. Buy a PA. They just don't do that. I think that's why secretly guitar players and band members get pissed at singers. Like we're all buying. We're spending the money we don't have working the expensive gear. You know, to his credit, Mitch's credit, he did go to Radio Shack and he bought it. Excuse me. He bought a crappy Radio Shack cable, the crappy mic, back when Radio Shack was still a thing. And he sold some music gear, I guess, because he bought a cable from there. I remember it was green and some like toy mic or something, and he put that through a Fender guitar combo. It sounded like shit, but he got his voice still came through that. So yeah, we're doing our thing, going to shows, hanging outside the venue, soaking it all in, playing when we can. Mitch and Gabe Cho, which we talk about a lot. They were close with Showcase for playing shows around there, just getting our name out there. Then we got a manager, and then it was his idea. The manager was working for Prosthetic Records at the time, so I was stoked. I remember like being at Ancho's, washing dishes, and he would call me. I'm like, damn, holy shit. I'm washing dishes at my job, and someone from label was calling me. I felt cool. He started to manage us, and then he knew how to work a camera, so he filmed our show at the Showcase, and we do what we do. You know, Mitch is going insane, I'm going insane, the band's going insane, and he put that on MySpace. And I want to say, fact check me if you want, go for it. I want to say Suicide Silence was the first band in music that put a video of themselves on MySpace. We're not talking rap or metal or rock, no, we're music. Because once he found a way to embedded the geeky stuff, embedded like the code into our MySpace, and then it worked, and then it took off. Before us, not us, but every band on the planet. I don't remember seeing any music video on their MySpace. And back then, MySpace was kind of taking off. So our videos kind of taking off, and also we have a lot of parallels with Dane Cook, because he was popping up on MySpace, people talking on him. We're popping off with JFAC, and people talking on us, but we didn't care, and we were really trying to, get rid of the MySpace term they were using on us. But yeah, that got, that got us doing what we do, playing shows around here, being homies, going to Denny's, and now we're going on tours. Our first full-fledged tour. Oh, and this is another Mitch story. Set this one up. So yeah, I want to say 2006, Spreading Disease tour. So it was us, All Show Parish, which is how we eventually got really close to Eddie. Nights Like These, Light This City. Who else? Someone else dope played. Too Pure to Die. Yeah, so it was 2006. 2006. We can't really find anything right now. I know there's flyers about it, but anyway, it's 2006. So this is like a full-fledged. I wish we could see dates because that shit was fucking long, dude. That shit was, oh gosh, it was like 2 months long. And I think Alex tried out right before this, and then we kind of I'm really hoping Jay finds these dates because it's kind of just okay, we're gonna move on, but yeah, so with the help of MySpace and us fucking kicking ass, every band on that tour was signed but us. So we were headlining. Osher Parish was signed. Nights Like These, like Central Media. I mean, whatever. I mean, they're all. So that made us kind of think like, wow, like we could really do like our own thing. But yeah, I remember right before. It was either right before that one. Okay, so this is a story I'm trying to set up here. It was either right before that tour or right after. I was about to get a promotion at my job. I was working at a hospital, and I went there and busted my ass. I made a name for myself very quickly. Well, whatever I did, I've always tried to be the best at. I've always had this thing, like a very competitive. If I was dishwasher, I made sure I was the best dishwasher there. And they offered me a promotion, and basically I had to choose, but it required me to be there full time. So it required me to either pursue music or take this promotion. Laid back job, laid back. The raise, I mean, I would be set for life. And then I would leave work, rush over, and then the guys already be practicing. I remember, which I was mad at Mitch for a while about this, and Mark too. I'm working my ass off, but I coned the fucking. Jay found it. There's so many fucking shows, dude. July 14th it started, and it went on August 14th, September 6th. Actually, yeah, it ended. I think it ended at Showcase, so the last date's not even on there. So yeah, 2 months long, too long. And I go into the garage. What did Mitch say? It was a condescending comment, but it took me a while to process that he was right. It was like, why do you have a job? Or why? Something like that. Like, he was basically talking shit to me for having a job. And I remember like being mad, like, oh, here's these fucking high school dropouts telling me, telling me shit about life. Remember, I kind of held it against him for a while, but he was right. I didn't understand it at the time, but I did. Obviously, I made my decision, but he definitely pushed me in that right direction. Had to fucking stop and Also, another reason why I'm talking about this one tour. So we do it. It was nice. We got really close to Eddie. I think Mitch and Eddie got matching tattoos on their foot. They have a fucking goat, like a goat's face, goat head. How do you say that? So became really close with Oshawa Parish. Then came home from that. I believe that was. I want to say that was 2006. I'm thinking this is our last sober tour. I think we did a few more. Actually, I think it was the next year. AJ, look up Suicide Silence, Sepultura, Sworn Enemy. If that's 2006, then shit's gonna make a lot of sense. I just want to get my my dates right before I say something stupid, which is easy to do. 2006. Cool. So that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, so that tour with Eddie, that was our last sober tour, and you could literally the dates are on there. Wait, go on November. So it's at the. I don't think it was the Boardwalk. I think that venue changed, but yeah, it was Alex's birthday, and we started fucking drinking, and that started. That started the whole thing. Actually, was Mitch drinking by then? Oh shit, mate! I think I might have fucked up. I don't remember him drinking on that tour though, but maybe that's because I wasn't. But he might have been fucking raging because he just had his birthday's in October. And he would have turned 40 years old. And I'm turning 39. Maybe he was drinking back then. So wait, never mind. That was my last. Just to be accurate, that's probably my last sober tour. That was. Because once. I always kind of subconsciously, respected Mitch. And once. He had the tattoos, like the look. He had the fucking even back then, like local show. He just had like this thing. And when he turned 21, he sold out. And then me looking up to him, maybe without knowing, maybe I just didn't realize that till right now. That once he started drinking, I'm like, okay, now it's my turn. Okay, now it's like it was like made it okay to like. So I'm about to turn 39. He would be turning 40. So yeah, that's over a year older than me. So yeah, he was probably drinking on that tour, but nothing crazy. Like we weren't. Maybe we just. They didn't want to let the rest of the band started drinking. Maybe that's when he just started going fucking nuts. I think Mark was drinking too. He was fucking what? Like he was a child, man. Is that show on the internet, dude? I don't know. It might be. I forget which ones. It might have. Is that it? That'd be fucking crazy. But anyway. So he sold out, and then I sold out, and then just fucking started this. I think it was at the beginning. I do talk about drinking a lot during that time because it really was like the beginnings of. It was, I guess you could say, it was the very early stages of what would basically come to destroy us. But it's weird, like, you're 20, again, I didn't start drinking until I was 21. technically I was 20 because Alex's birthday is a week and a half before mine. So he turned 21. I drank on his birthday, and then I turned 21 shortly after. So I remember like writing riffs sober, not even knowing what alcohol is or weed, nothing, just sober, just writing. And clear head isn't the word. It's the vision was there and the clarity. I had the plot. I'm gonna steal that from Malcolm Young. He talks about drinking and losing the plot. And just something. When I started drinking, something big got lost. But what do you do? What do you do when you're traveling the country and the world with your best friends, and eventually they become your family, and you're experimenting together, and just fucking smoking weed and drinking, and it was. But yeah, then we, which I still learned from Alex and Mark, how they said they were smoking resin in the garage when they were writing the cleansing, and now I'm sober, so someone just kind of has to be like, I don't know, steering the ship, and everyone can kind of go crazy, but yeah, I guess I just relate that to what would eventually happen. So yeah, fast forward. I remember like when the record was done, hearing it back, I'm like, this is something. To this day, like our producer has not captured our sound. This hasn't. I was listening to it like this morning. I'm just like honing in on certain things, just like sitting there, ignoring the people around me, just like sitting there with my eyes closed. I'm like, just hearing like my tone. I'm like, that's who I am. That's literally what I was trying to say. And hearing Mitch's voice, his patterns and his cadence, and I'm like, there was nothing like it back then. There still isn't. He's just saying, as I was wondering, where is he singing from? But yeah, anyway, that fucking record comes out, and we did some really cool tours. I know, like when I was saying earlier, when we just started, like it's just been like this go. I don't know how else to put it. Let's just go. You're just hanging on. And then it turned into a full-on debauchery. I don't even know like how the second record got done or the third one. And people like those records, which is cool. It's always, I can't help but attach emotions and experiences to records. I need to really take myself out of it, but writing No Time to Bleed was really hard. That's definitely true. Like, I think Mitch was still on his A game as far as his voice and the lyrics he was bringing, just bringing real life stuff, singing from someplace else. There was no technique back then. He was doing what he does. And I remember this. It took me. I held a grudge even after he passed away. I held this grudge a long time. Maybe I didn't even let go of it till recently. But writing the songs was a little harder than the first one. Now there's outside factors and I remember like we recorded in New Jersey, so we fucking flew there with some gear, and because there's like some discussion came up where it's like where Mark should record all the guitars, and Mitch wanted this like kind of more polished sound or something, and I didn't really record that many guitars on the record, And it took me a long time to get over that because it really set the tone for like the rest of our career. Not in a good way either. I was never mad at Mark about it because it's not his place. But Mitch, anything that Mitch said to me, it always stuck. It was something else. It would just cut. Whether it's bad or it's good, it was whatever little thing you said. It was just like you fucking cut. And man, when like. I was like, oh man, can you bring this up like before we fucking came to a different state? Like, but you know, obviously we're still kids, and you can't expect people to have those kind of communication skills. And I was fucking pissed at him for years. But I get it. You know, life's going fast. I mean, Mitch, you know, he has a daughter. You know, so it's. Yeah, he had a life at home too. But eventually we'll kind of get back on our third record. I came back to tracking some tracking my parts, and it was pretty cool. But yeah, the debauchery continued throughout the second record. That whole cycle is kind of it was fun. It's fun, and the memories are cool. Remember, our first time in a fucking arena with Slayer. It was just cool. Like, it was cool to share that with him. There's a bunch of stupid kids from the IE were able to take no singing this far, and but yeah. Anyway, we're fucking doing our things, touring, and then there was I believe we're on a flight. We're on a flight, and I think Mitch was showing him to Mark. I think he was showing lyrics, and it was eventually "You Only Live Once." I remember Mark saying that they weren't good or something. But Mitch stuck by his guns. Yeah, he. Obviously, we get home, we start writing. You know, the record was also more hard to write. A little bit harder, a lot more alcohol. I'm already doing cocaine at this point. I'm close to useless, but not exactly. I'm fatter. But no matter what, like, as far as talent and as far as being who he was, Mitch was the one that really, no matter what the band was going through, he always delivered way higher than the rest of us. I mean, I didn't realize that till right now. I'm trying to bleed those vocals, man. After, like, now you got outside distraction, he delivered the lyrics and the ideas. And then fast forward in 2 years, more debauchery, and he did it again. The outside, like whatever's going on in the outside, he just delivered with the lyrics and how he said it. And unlike nobody, unlike anybody, it was like, damn, you know, I wish I kept up with them, but it's fucking sad. And then here, right when right before this pile, I was listening to that song, Witness Addiction, and hearing his voice over John's parts, it's like it was fucking wild. It was wild, and again, go out on the road, do our thing, multiple world tours, and we're just, you know, I don't want to go too far into that. It's just really the same thing. We just kept doing like the same thing with go. We're doing the Mayhem festivals, and it was cool. And then we were doing it's weird because you can't like you don't know, you can't predict. But Mitch's last tour with us was that All Stars tour. It was a U.S. tour, and I think right before, actually this just popped in my head. I remember right before that, we came in from some tour, and then I called him like right after. And it was my attempt to communicate with them without having the tools to communicate with them. I was checking in to see how he was doing, because his voice was hurting. There was no YouTube for you to go on. There's all these tutorials. It's like people like to point out these things. Like sometimes people point out Mitch's videos from the last couple of years of our career, like when we were going hard, and there's no technique out there. All the bands that you talk about all have these techniques. Mitch didn't have that. So to compare like they're better, like you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Yeah, there was no. He just had his own. He was left to his own devices to figure it out on his own. Plus, the physical aspect of it. He basically rocks out harder than all other deathcore vocalists combined them. And they don't even match up to Mitch. This dude was going off, and he was I think he had some neck issues. Pretty sure he needed neck surgery. This dude just. But we were just going. I remember I called him, tried to connect with them, and I think he said he was fine, and we didn't hang out. We just waited for the next tour. There's one time where, which I compare this one moment to everybody. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but I'm sorry. I'm just getting this whole time. I'm getting flooded with like memories. I'm trying to put it out in some kind of fashion, but around the same time, we're out in like France or something. And I said some stupid shit. He said dumb shit. Not like a big, not like a blow up or even a fight. It was just like little drunk bickering, But Mitch was by far he was the most stubborn person I have met in my life. Stubborn as shit. It would drive you fucking insane. The dude was so stubborn. And there's pros and cons to that, Stubborn with your vision and your dream, and obviously that helped him in his way of doing things. But there's the other side of it that we had our bickering, and he said sorry, and then I said sorry, and I always compare that moment to everybody. Like if that dude can say sorry, that dude could put aside his ego for a minute and say sorry and say, I love you. I literally held that to everybody. And there's like a few moments in my life where people didn't say sorry. I'm like, oh, that's like, I kind of hold a grudge there. But his integrity and character always show in those rare moments. But it was always there. He was always a great dude. But yeah. Oh man. Oh, when was it? We were going to see. We were all going to see Rammstein at the Honda Center, which is down the street from here. And DK didn't go because he was hanging out with someone else. And then we had at the time that arena was across the street from a Hooters. And I think this is what prompted me to call him, because I walk into Hooters. And that's when Mitch got the tattoo on his face, like right by his eye. I was like, oh shit, he did it. I was like, oh, interesting. I didn't think anything like negative of it, but maybe kind of awakened something in me. I wonder if he's okay. Again, back when that shit wasn't cool, he was just following his own path, man, and But anyway, fast forward, we do this fucking. Ended up being the last tour of our career with Mitch. Cool dude, struggling. We're all struggling. It's weird looking at those videos too from that era. It was this. We needed a break, like a long break, and but we're out there, and his voice is hurting. Me and Mark were fat as fuck, just drinking, but yeah, that tour is over, and then we did an off show, and I think it was like on the way back home. We were doing an off show, and I think it was in Lubbock, Texas. It was an outdoor venue, and he has a fucked up thing going on with his elbow, like it was a infection. I think he might have gotten it on stage, but don't quote me there. So he had an infection which he would actually get really infected by the time he got home, and landed him in the hospital. But no one knew, not even the people there. It wasn't even a good turnout. It was a terrible turnout. But that was his last show. I think that was it's August 2012, and no one knew. How can you know? How can you know? And then we were at that point. I was over it. I already made up my mind that I was going to quit. So we already had the other tour booked with Asking, Alexandria, and As We Dying. That was already booked for the fall, I believe, or winter. I think it was an Outbreak tour or something like that. That one, yeah. So it was winter. So I see December in there. So that was already lined up. We're trying to write the new record, a new record. Which one of those songs would end up going on You Can't Stop Me? But I made it up in my mind. It was over. Like I just, yeah. Back in your how was I? 26. I think I was 26, and don't have the we don't have the tools, the mental, emotional tools to know how to process our thoughts and how to navigate them. So I knew back then I wanted to change. Maybe fat and trying to figure out, but my decision I made at the time was to quit. But it was weird because the guys were still jamming at my house. It was weird. So I would be in that backyard like just cooking chicken because I was like trying to meal prep to lose weight. That's exactly what I was doing. And so yeah, they were jamming in the garage with the producer, which I held a grudge against for a while. And yeah, the only dude that would check up on me was Mitch. He came back there, a little bit of small talk. What's up, dude? And then we have a pool in the backyard, and just small talk. And then he walked by the pool around the corner like I seen him do I don't know how many times since I was an early teenager. And that would end up being the last time I ever spoke to him. And so fast forward to Halloween. Then he had a birthday, he had like this like birthday gathering. It was like public. I think he even made like a flyer for it. He had a big old party, and I didn't go. I regret not going. But yeah, and then Halloween for some reason. Yeah, yesterday was Halloween. I was here for a little bit and went home and slept. It's always kind of a weird day. Yeah, I don't know why. I still don't know why. I don't know why I didn't do anything. Didn't go out. Didn't go to Buffalo Wild Wings to get hammered. Didn't call anybody. It was weird. So you know what? Stay home. I'm not drinking. I'm gonna drive down the street to Miguel's Jr., which is a Mexican spot in Inland Empire. It's one of my favorite burritos on the planet. You know, I'm gonna get a bean cheese burrito and get fatter, and that's what I'm gonna do. And I got the burrito. And on my way home, it's like 3 miles away from getting a burrito to the drive to my house. Our previous manager calls me and saying that Mitch got in an accident. And he's like, yeah, it happened. You know, he got a little backstory. We just signed to Nuclear Blast, and it gave us a pretty big signing bonus. So me and Mitch did what we do. He got a Harley, and I got a Cadillac CTS, which I would end up associating negative thoughts and feeling maybe that's why I never took care of it. You know, I thought I was so fucking cool. I bought the car for a wrong reason. I bought it to look cool, but I genuinely love the car. I'm gonna buy that car again. And we both did what we do, and but yeah, he got he got a new bike, and I get the call. I want to say it was around like 6 p.m. It was definitely in the evening. It was definitely dark outside, dark. And I remember I was passing the church and turning right onto Minoya, which is where I lived. Told my parents what happened, and I'm leaving. And I told our manager to send me the address. I didn't think about if I'm going. Where is he? And so told my parents what happened. In and out. Dropped my burrito off, and I fucking got back in my car and drove. He was in Irvine, which from here, Irvine is it's a neighboring town over. It's like the next like nice place from Corona. It's like with no traffic. Which on Halloween there's no traffic. It was like a under 30-minute drive, and yeah, I remember parking the car and was walking inside the hospital. Basically, it was like a big waiting area. It was like a big ceiling, like a tall ceiling. Like it wasn't like a room. It was like in like where we were sitting, was like a middle of everything. Super tall ceiling, and it was myself, our manager, and Mitch's dad, Kip. And then we were kind of texting back and forth with the other guys in the band, giving them updates. But I was getting a little bit more information, like such as he crashed in Huntington Beach, which is where he was living at the time, and just doing updates, and Remember, it felt like we were there for a while. We were there for like so long. It felt like I was taking naps. It was there for a bit, sitting, just basically waiting for an update. And basically, what was happening is he was in surgery. They were trying to save his life. And anyone that has ever been in that kind of spot with probably a family member or friend, you know, they can't really tell you exactly what's happening, but you want answers. You know, it's a very tough spot for the people that work at the hospital to give you news. And he was hanging out with Mitch's dad and their manager, and some of the other guys were out of town. I don't want to speak for him, but yeah, the bad one was when we got like one update was, I remember the doctor was talking to Kip and I was looking at his shoe, and you see blood on the scrub. Oh man, this is not good. That was kind of like the hit of reality. So this is not good. And then more time passes, and then finally we were able to go upstairs. Where he was in surgery, and then then we were allowed. So at this point, I believe they'd done everything that they could. They're trying to stop the bleeding. And I believe he was bleeding internally. And so we're upstairs. Now we're in the same level. So yeah, they let us say hi to him, but so technically he was alive. And I keep forgetting that, like, he was alive when I saw him, when we saw him, and it's like, man, we're just hanging out. We were talking. Yeah, I didn't know what to say. I don't know if he could hear what's going on, but I assume that's what they mean for someone that's fighting for their life. But and these are like the wee hours of the morning. It's probably already November 1st at this point, and I didn't know until it happened. So anyone that's unfortunate, if you've ever been in a spot, unfortunately, it's kind of like you're kind of like allowed to. You're kind of like allowed to be there. And you see like the nurses kind of rushing like this is bad, and the doctors, and then out of nowhere, I remember the doctor going up to Kip saying, "I'm sorry." I was like, "Oh." Sorry, what? And obviously he passed away, and it's like a movie. Like it just doesn't. I run away from that moment along with many others. Now would basically start the second half of my career. And there's only been like twice in my life where there's like a thought entered in my head, and literally that's just what's gonna happen. And it's been true. Like when the band first started, like there was no the vision was there and it never wavered. And I'm fascinated like how I try to do other things in my life like that. So everything that happened in the band was never really surprising. It was because it happened in my head already. And unfortunately, the second time that happened was literally the moment Mitch died. The first thought that popped in my head was the band's not stopping. There's no way. And it literally, no matter what I read or saw or heard, it just wasn't. It won't even like get in there. It's just it's fucking fascinating. I don't know what that is, but it's fucking sad, man. We lost the face of the band, the singer, brother, best friend, all in one moment. You know, he was everything in my life, and I didn't even know. It's such a cliche, man, but it's true. You don't know what you have till it's gone. I guess that's why it is. I guess that's why people say that. Just lost everything in one moment. In one moment, but see, this is early in the morning, and then at this point, Mitch's friends have already heard what's going on. So I was shown there for a couple more hours, I believe, and people started to come in to see him. He already died at this point, obviously. So once I saw other people, I'm like, I'm going home. And then I don't know, to grieve. What's that? And yeah, I drove home. I remember there not being any traffic when I went home, and I kid you not, internet. I kid you not. The moment I parked my car, go home, someone got wind of it. Someone posted on Facebook, and then it fucking took off. Before I know it, it was a headline on the news sites. The metal stuff, this not metal, it's like real. I mean, it was all over. Literally during that drive, some fucking whatever. Some idiot fucking posting on Facebook. But you fucking bitch. It's not their fault, but yeah, it felt like robbed. But then again, you can't control these things. The world caught. The moment I parked my car, everyone knew. I remember the first person that called me was he was our previous A&R. He signed us to Central Media. Steve Joe is a great guy, and remember he called and I picked up. And I couldn't say anything, so I hung up. And that's when you just let the phone calls happen, the texts, and all that, and it was everywhere. Everybody knew. And then that started the second half of our career. Yeah, it just sucks, man. And another cliche, man. Like they always take like the best. Like why? Yeah, why did that become a thing? the people that die first seem to be the ones that yeah, they always take the special ones first. It's weird. It's really weird. But yeah, I'm trying not to make this too dark, but yeah, and then at that moment I realized, which I'm still working through, pretty close to it, but I realized how dark people can get. It's different when you're just talking shit in your band, and it's fine, but when it gets really personal like that, and then you have comments and people still make comments about it, I learned, this isn't a joke. There's some fucking dark people out there. So I learned the hard way. Like I want to fucking be in the comments and be cool with everyone, but it's just can't. You can't. Once you let in the cool stuff, you let in the bad stuff, and that's just life, and that's just the way it is. So I'm not like, I don't try to ignore people when they put comments down, but it's just, I kind of started the whole man, people still say shit. It's like, why, man? It also it really just like maximized and forced at least myself in a position where I really just don't care. And I don't care. It's just you really develop this extremely thick skin, and I don't give a fuck because I don't. Anyone that's ever said anything about Mitch in the comments, anyone in the industry I remember, I don't want you to listen to the band. I don't want you to buy merch. I don't want you at the shows. Don't listen to the podcast. I don't care. That kind of stuff is pretty unforgivable. And then that kind of I met up with the guys like probably the next day. I think one of the first guys I saw was Alex. And in our front yard where the band started, where he tried out about what 15 years earlier, and I pantsed him. I will do this thing where I'll pants someone, but this is where it gets dark. When you pants someone, you put your foot on their pants so they can't pull it up, and then you push them. And when he tried out, that's what I did to him. He had gym shorts. He still wears them all the time. I pantsed him. I put my foot on his gym shorts and I pushed him. And he rolled like a roly-poly. And his body moved in such a way that it looked very natural. But did that literally 15 years earlier to that other moment. It's just, and that's life. And we would go to like, yeah, with Mitch, we would go to like Buffalo Wild Wings and just have like, that's where we had our band meetings. For some reason, we just got really creative, and also just a drinking environment. It's just kind of, I don't know. At the time, that place was really cool. It was popping off in Corona, and we'll just go there and talk about ideas and I remember someone talking about the "You Only Live Once" video concept. Like a lot of this happened there. So yeah, we did the same thing except with one less person. And that's what kind of started the whole idea with the memorial show. It spawned there. It started, and then again, no grieving. We're just okay. Now we have something else to do, and we started getting ready for that and contacting the singers maybe without knowing, using it as at least I was, as a form of a escape. And we started getting ready for the show. So literally that was all of our, some of our November, all of our December. The show was, the show is less than 2 months away. It was fucking crazy. It's still like the fact that it got put together in a venue, and so we came up with the idea to have all celebrate his life, and had all his, either Mitch's friends or people that we met along the way on tour. Some legendary people came out. That was Mitch. He had that pool, man. And I remember it was a cool show. And I remember I was locked out of our hotel, so I was just kind of, I forgot. I'm not gonna say who, but I was at somebody's room. It was the second to last time I did coke. It was the second to last time, and we're hanging out, and then it's probably like 5 a.m. or something. It was early, and I can't get into our room, so I'm just sitting out in the hallway of this hotel, and then Randy comes out. He had an early flight, and he was already sober at the time. He was also still dealing with the stuff in Prague, so there was kind of rumblings of that might be his last time on stage, because no one knew. And the fact that Randy came out, regardless of what he was going through, and seeing how he prepared for it was, that's what character is made of. Randy's a special guy. He's on that list. And I remember he got out of there. I remember him walking away. I remember feeling really embarrassed. He didn't say anything. It was like, man, because I already knew he was sober, and here I am, a drunk idiot, just lost a singer, and I'm on cocaine in front of a hotel I can't get in. But yeah, and then in January we had so that was also towards really close to Christmas. So it's pretty amazing. People probably stepped away from family time and just made it happen. It was really close to Christmas, and so I remember in January there's an Inland Empire friend got married in Vegas, so I had a last minute invite, so I went. And you're in Vegas. I didn't do anything too crazy. I don't even remember getting hammered. It was just, I remember drinking, and then we would do this thing where someone would go to the bathroom first. And obviously I'm protecting identities here, but someone go to the bathroom, do coke, and then we'll take turns because they have security. They kind of know when like a group of, you can't all go in the bathroom with a group of guys. So someone will come out and you do like that baggy handoff, like a fucking psycho, and then I remember that day I was like, what am I doing? I'm still doing this shit. And yeah, that was the last time I did drugs, as far as that kind. So yeah, almost going on 12 years, a couple months away. I'm terrified of it. I'm terrified of my brain rotting. It doesn't do good for me. And that really started the journey. January that really started the process. Mark was also, he went vegetarian. He was going on. He's he's going on his own weight loss journey, and we're kind of like parallel losing weight, and I was over it. And then right after that, I lost my me and my fiance split up, which was one of the best days of my life. I was a little shithead, so it goes both ways. And there's a lot going on, and then it's crazy when I look at the dates. Unfortunately, have you ever, like, to remember something, you just compare it to something that happened to you, and that's like, okay, that was 2012. That's like, then you kind of gauge your time. I do that with Mitch and some tours or records, but I started losing weight, and right out of the gates, I told myself I'm going to be single until I'm 35, and I'm just turned 27 then. So 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Believe I met my chick when I was 32, 33. So at least 5 years. So I almost made it, but if I'm gonna do suicide silence, I can't do the on and off thing with a female. That's just, so unfortunately it made it pretty easy to break things off. I had something to focus on, but and also to step back a little bit, it's about 2 days after Mitch passed away, we went to his apartment. He was really into conspiracies. He was like end of the world stuff. Like there was supposed to be like this. He was trying to bring up to us, like, not to play a show because there was going to be an earthquake in Anaheim, California at this certain time because it matched up with this date, like some conspiracy thing. And we were talking, we were going back and forth about not playing this one show. So he was really into it. And he has a daughter, obviously, so that's just maximized his thought process. And but we get a hold of his iPad, and I told the story before, but just to ingrain in people what kind of person Mitch was. But we go to, anyway, his search history is literally like 2012, earthquakes, conspiracy stuff, and then I went to his notepad, and literally the first thing that popped up was, "You can't stop me." And another one of those things that set the tone for the years to come. And even when he died, you couldn't stop him. That's just fucking crazy. There's no words for that. And that's those lyrics. We end up using that because we were gonna. Also, the band had 2 songs demoed, and they were gonna pre-pro with Mitch the day after he passed. So he was probably already messing with it, and unfortunately, he never got to record those 2 songs. But it's funny, he was so into 2012 because like the whole like Mayan calendar end in the world, but it was the end in the world in some cases. Yeah, man, it's all been a blur. It was just go. Even like I think we all deal with it. It's just like, because now like the drugs aren't an option anymore, and then like the blacked out drunk every night, that's not an option anymore. And that you have like, there's like these, I could only, to put it into words, I could only describe it as clouds. You're trying to see clearly, trying to have a clear mind, a clear vision, and I felt like surrounded by clouds. It's clouds, and then the only way to do it is face things head on. I was trying to work things out, boring stuff, reading books, and I talked about it before. But anyway, moving on, and then once you get past one cloud, there was another one, and then another one, and it's just all this shit that I haven't dealt with my whole life, childhood traumas of, I don't know, it just kept that, and plus we're on tour, and it was damn near almost impossible to, but getting Eddie seemed very seamless. He was the only guy that I think had any kind of human capacity to take on what he was about to take on. And not a lot of people give him credit for it, but he has matching tattoos with Mitch. He knew us. He came in it with respect, and the voice was there, the talent, and that time, like him working out a little bit, trying, I lost a few pounds, and then he gets in the band. Now he's in the band. We announced it, to the record's written, the record's recorded. Now we're in Australia. Like that did not seem like a year. It might have been 2 years. It did not seem like that at all. And then Mitch and for Mitch to that, now we're literally on the road, and that was after like I've heard it all. I've seen it all. Whether it's from people in bands or people in the industry or just listeners, they said it was impossible to come back. And it never once, ever, not once got into my psyche. And again, it happened in my life twice, and I just don't know what that is. I try to get that back. It's like, I don't know, something was in me. Because it's not like we went from Mitch to Eddie, but I talked like it was quick. But there was some time we didn't have a singer. Like I never once woke up like, what are we gonna do? It's like I just instinctually knew. That a miracle was gonna happen, and not only do we have a band on the ground, but we have someone in a band, above us. So I felt like I had the spiritual advantage over everybody else. And obviously, people will say, why keep the band name? Why not change it? Why? It goes to, again, like my first thought was the band's not stopping, and the only thing I have, because it's beyond disrespectful when people say what they might have thought Mitch would have wanted. He had no idea, and it's very disrespectful you would even consider that. I know the guy, and I wouldn't do that, but all I have is, if it was me and it was reversed, I would want him to keep going under any circumstance. So that's all I got. And we took the appropriate steps. Okay, does this feel right? Okay, does this feel right? Okay, does this feel right? Okay, so make sure everything was done right, and he got support from his family, which means it's top priority. How do we feel about each other? How do we even feel? And everything felt right. Everything was right. It's kind of, it wasn't exactly a business decision. I think everyone has proved that already. Yeah, Eddie doesn't really get any credit for stuff like this, but he went on full-fledged world tours. He was touring like he was a kid again, to trying to regain the what we might have lost, but he did, and that was all Blur. We went from Soundwave to Australia, which is a massive festival tour in Australia. Avenged Sevenfold was on it. Korn, you name it. There were so many bands. So his first, his first show was, I believe, was in Brisbane, like a massive fucking crowd. Which, oddly enough, the same thing happened to Dan Kenny. His first show with us was with Parkway Drive in Brisbane in front of like 5,000 people. It's for some reason Brisbane has a interesting part in our lives, but went from that to doing the European festivals in June, and then straight into the Mayhem tour with Avenged and Korn. So we kind of got, and the record dropped during that one, and then a lot of best case scenarios. Then after that, we got the direct support with Korn. Basically just, accomplished the impossible. But things with stuff like that, it's what will bring you successful is what will also break you. Guess we're gonna do one big circle right now, but yeah, just it's not like I don't think about Mitch. It's just like around this time, like on his birthday or his today, Halloween, is like, what do I? Sometimes I'll post some, but I'll pop in my head, I'm like, do I even want to post? Do I feel obligated? It's not like I don't think about him. It's like he's always in my subconscious. Every day he drives every decision I make. But I always feel weird around this time. Like, what? Fuck. What the fuck do you do? Yes, it's just because I just attached a lot. You attach a lot of memories to him. Like, I think something I never talked about before, but his funeral was. It's like a lot of firsts were with Mitch. First time drinking, first record. First time seeing someone die, first time burying someone, and yeah, there's and we're in Orange County, and obviously we're all there. The band's there. We're all kind of more towards the back, and seeing everyone kind of walk up to Mitch and take one last look. I don't want to look because I already saw him in that state. But, so, man, we were just trying to play music, man. And one moment you're doing that, and the next, like, Mitch's dad, Kip, had the idea of, what's that word where, Jay, you might need to pull it up, or where you hold the casket towards the grave. There's a name for that, correct? So we're a pallbearer. So that was my first time doing that. So it was at the four of us, and man, our funeral is so fucking sad. You're just basically carrying like your dead friend, and then carry him to this And so I mean, it's a big lot. It's a big. So you walk up and you see like the grave, and then you see a big mountain of dirt. So basically, and they kind of have workers chilling there because basically like, well, if the funeral has to end, is the moment it ends, the workers are already working, basically putting the dirt. That process of carrying them. I haven't thought about that till right now. Everyone is just like looking at like a big hole in the ground. It's fucked up. And so I'm trying to figure out a way to wrap this up. I gave myself no timeline, so if you want to hear it, cool. If you don't, you can turn it off. But I partially gave you a warning it's going to get dark. But yeah, I mean, life went on, you know. And I didn't do it on purpose, but it just didn't. I don't know. I think it's like a human like defense mechanism where you're just like you don't allow yourself to think about things or process things or feel certain things. And things in our DNA. But yeah, I always kind of knew, but until I said it, I was like, yeah, I really haven't. I purposely made myself so busy that I really haven't processed Mitch's death and made me grieve in a healthy way. Because it's just a lot of great memories. Great memories I'm stoked we had together, but it's also attached to so many failures. Failure as a friend, failure as a brother, failure as a bandmate. There's just a lot of demons in that closet, and I think I just closed the door and put a lock on it. But until now. I don't know if I have anything else to say. But yeah, 12 years ago, man. It doesn't feel like 12 years, man. It just doesn't. Now, why are some moments slow and some just fly by? It's fucking weird. Trying to think if there's anything else I want to say or even should say, but I don't know. I think I'm done. I feel like I'm missing something. You don't mind the awkward silence. I appreciate it, but I don't like we don't like to edit that out. We just kind of keep it there. Feel the vibe. But yeah, I do kind of feel selfish when I bring myself into it. I don't know if that's right or wrong. It's just such a massive part of my life. Like those moments are just like. You're just, you know, and I say this to my close friends. If it wasn't Mitch, I want to say it was going to be me. I was a fucking disaster. It was a fucking disaster driving when I shouldn't be driving. It was, I don't know. And it kind of sucks, like when like you want something and you get it, but it's never what you really want. It's what you need. And that was remember being like 26 and I wanted to change. I needed help. Maybe subconsciously praying in my mind, and I did get the help I needed. I got it. I just didn't. I just didn't know it was gonna be that. I talked about this, like, because for a human, we need to be jolted to fucking change us. Sometimes it just fucking sucks that is. If something that dramatic didn't happen, I don't know where I would be. The band for sure wouldn't be around. Just sucks. It took Mitch dying to make changes, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to woulda, shoulda, coulda. What would have happened? You know, it's impossible to tell. But yeah, hopefully you get more of an insight into my feelings with the whole thing. When you have extreme moments like that, when you get like outside noise, you really just don't care. You know, you gotta follow your own heart and instinct, as long as it's from yourself, not ego. And yeah, we wouldn't be here if we didn't get the support from Mitch's family. Because his mother, his dad, Joey's been super supportive. Whenever something negative happened to us, she would always have something positive to say and stuck by us. It's cool. And yeah, it's weird. Like whenever I see the band name now, it's like I don't. It just means. It has so many different meanings now. It's sadness. It's heartbreak. It's tragedy. It's persistence. It's character. It's God. Integrity. Perseverance. It's everything. It's crazy. So when you buy the shirts, I kind of think that's why people are buying shirts now. It's that subconscious signal, you know, that just the shape of the logo just represents the strength. And but how long is this? Oh, going on fucking 2 hours, I think. I mean, honestly, this podcast has really helped me. I mean, this isn't exactly what I had in mind to do solos, but that's just what's been presenting itself. And I didn't know I needed this. I've been avoiding this day for a while, just opening up the door and looking into the corners of my heart. But and we're about to like fucking start jamming again, and I've been putting it off. I've been talking about it, but I just know where I gotta go mentally, emotionally. But anyway, thank you for listening and watching. Thank you for being a part of my journey of being a how do you even say this? Being an adult, growing up. I don't even know. Yeah, It's so crazy. It's been 10 years, man. It's so much has happened. So much has happened. And it's crazy how long. It's kind of why you need to be patient with people. You know, I consider myself definitely a mentally strong dude, but man, some people just. It took me over a decade to have some kind of clear mind. Over a decade. That's with work. You know, gym and yoga, all that boring shit. You know, my parents have been there, very very supportive, still very supportive. But so there's okay. We're gonna end it, but if this works, it's already playing right now. I don't really know until we do the edit, but there's. Yeah, it's like it's why I trust music, man. Like it just has like a fourth dimensional quality to it. It just transcends words. And there's a song I always touch on it, but yeah, Angel Sun from Sevendust. I always jam that song when I want to kind of at least. Yeah, I kind of view it as like being a child, just sitting outside that door I don't want to open. So I'm reminded, but I won't open up the door. Just kind of just reminds myself of Mitch. And so yeah, I'll jam it very often, sometimes almost daily. And this song originally was written for Snot. Slim Straight passed away. He's known to be a legend as well. So it's very fitting. So we'll see. That song's playing right now. Yeah, I don't have anything epic to end it with, just with music. So I'll leave it at that. Yeah, thanks for listening, watching the pod. Again, thank you for being part of the journey. Thank you for listening to Suicide Silence. Hopefully this gives you some kind of insight to what's going on. Yeah, right before we started this, Jay was playing some of my older episodes. Number 1 with Alex and with Ross, and then we went straight to the Lord of a Dark Funeral. It's like, man, it was fucking crazy, man. Crazy how long this thing has come. Man, I would have never imagined this is where it's going. This is wild. But as they say, it takes a while for ideas to develop. It's just important thing just to get started and not stop. And I'm very lucky that there's been support. Kind of gave us a little juice, but anyway, you're probably enjoying the song right now, but oh yeah, this is how I want to close it out. I knew I was getting something. This is what it is. Since we're on a subject and it's already dark, we could just close it dark. It'll get positive next week, I promise. So tomorrow, this episode is also dedicated to Keith Pierce. He passed away this month, and they're having a memorial tomorrow in Corona. So he was, I used to play bass in a death metal band, and he played drums in it. He used to play drums for a band called Comatron. Hatch Face would eventually turn into Gutslaw, which is known in the underground death grind genre. I was in Hatch Face twice, so it was. He was a fucking sick, like crusty grind drummer. Just exactly what you expect. It sounds sick, and he was This is sad, man. It's being kids jamming, and now I'm going to a memorial tomorrow. So there's today and tomorrow. Yeah, this episode is dedicated to you, Keith Pierce, and also obviously dedicated to our brother, Mitch. He was a legend, man. He was a fucking legend. But anyway, I'm done. Thank you for listening and watching. Appreciate it.